If Waxhaw's on the list right now and you're also looking at Fort Mill, Ballantyne, Marvin, or Weddington, this video is going to save you from making the most expensive mistake buyers make in South Charlotte market. They picked the right suburb for the wrong reasons.
Now, Waxhaw has the best public schools in the Charlotte Metro, one of the lowest property taxes in the region, a historic downtown that no other suburb can replicate, and a traffic problem that has broken more than a few households who did not ask the right questions before they closed.
Why are you putting our business out there?
Not our business.
This video gives you the full picture, real pros, real cons, and a verdict at the end that tells you whether Waxhaw is the right suburb for your specific situation or whether one of its neighbors is actually the better call.
All right, so stay with us. At the 5-minute mark, we're dropping a Waxhaw growth fact. This changes how you think about this suburb's future. And it's not in the way most agents frame it. Don't skip ahead.
So here's the scenario that plays out more than any other in Waxhaw right now. A high-earning household, 2 careers, combined income with over $200,000, relocating from a major metro. They've done all the research. Waxhaw checks every box on paper. Schools rated a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. Historic downtown with real character. Homes that are half the price of what they're leaving.
Yes.
They buy.
And then 12 months later, one of them is thriving. The schools are everything they hoped for. And the community is warm and genuinely welcoming. The house is better than anything they could have afforded from where they came from. And the other is quietly calculating how many hours of their life they're spending on Providence Road every week and whether the math still makes sense.
That is the Waxhaw split. And it's not about the suburb being good or bad. It's more about knowing exactly which side of the split your household lands on before you sign anything. That's what this video is for.
So let's jump into the pros, right? Pro number 1, the schools are not just good. They are the reason 6-figure households specifically choose Waxhaw over any other suburb at this price point. Cuthbertson High is a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.com. Marvin Ridge High, 10 out of 10. Weddington High, 10 out of 10. These are consistently among the highest rated public schools in the entire Charlotte Metro. For households relocating from markets where private school education was the only path to quality, only option, this district is the moment Waxhaw wins the conversation.
So crazy. Pro number 2, Union County property taxes. Now, Waxhaw sits in Union County, not Mecklenburg. That single fact has meaningful financial consequences. Union County's tax rate is consistently lower than Mecklenburg's. On a home in the $650,000 to $850,000 range, that difference can be around $1,500 to $2,500 per year every year. That is not a rounding error. That is a vacation, a car payment, straight household investment account.
Pro number 3, downtown Waxhaw is something no other Charlotte suburb has and no developer can manufacture. Right? Main Street has been there since the 1800s. You have independent restaurants, antique districts, and then you have farmers market, working railroad tracks, and community events that actually turn out the whole town. Now, if you're relocating from a city where walkable character neighborhoods were part of your identity, Waxhaw downtown is the closest thing to that entire South Charlotte market, right? Nothing else comes close.
Yeah, we've eaten there. It's pretty amazing. Pro number 4, what your money actually buys. The home median price point in Waxhaw is coming in around $647,000. For households leaving the DC Metro, New York, California, or South Florida, that number is almost disorienting. You are getting 4 or 5 bedrooms, significant square footage, a real lot, and architectural details that would cost, say, $1.5 to $2 million in the market. You are leaving. That gap does not exist in most of the suburbs this audience cross-shops against.
And let's talk about pro number 5, long-term equity with a track record behind it. Waxhaw's population growth is 108% between 2010 and 2020. Not projected, actual. Limited land, sustained high income demand, and a school district that continues to draw relocating families means the resale fundamentals here are among the strongest in the Charlotte Metro. This is not speculation, it's a pattern that's been running for about 15 years now.
That's right. And pro number 6, the lifestyle is generally different from every other suburb on your list. Horse farms, Cane Creek Park, an equestrian community that exists nowhere else in South Charlotte. A farmer's market that runs year-round, a pace of life that is quiet and intentional without being isolated. You're 20 to 30 minutes from airport, professional sports, every restaurant Charlotte has to offer. Waxhaw gives you the exhale without cutting off the access.
Before we get into the cons, would you get on a horse?
I would. I love horseback riding.
Yeah, we're gonna do a video on that. Watch. Now let's jump into the cons, and these are gonna be real specific because at $700,000, you deserve specifics, not just talking points.
Con number 1. The road infrastructure is the single most important thing to understand about Waxhaw before you buy. And it is the most important thing that buyers find out too late. Waxhaw's population doubled in 10 years. The roads, mostly two-lane, did not. Providence Road, for example, Waxhaw, Marvin Road, the local connectors feeding into US 74 and I-485 off-peak. You are looking at a 30 to 40 minutes to uptown Charlotte. During morning rush, you're talking about 7 to 8:45 a.m. and evening 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. That stretches into a 60 to 75 minute commute.
Insane.
If both people in the household are driving, that is 5 days a week. You are spending up to 2.5 hours a day in a car. That is not minor. No inconvenience. That is a quality of life variable that needs to be stress tested before any offer goes in.
Yes. Now, the important update for 2026 is that those projects are real and they are active. Kensington Road is being widened. New traffic signals are going in at Millbridge, Pine Oak Road, and Providence and Bonds Grove. Right now, all 4 projects are projected to complete by late 2026. The infrastructure problem is being addressed, but it's not solved yet. So driving actual commute on Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. before you make any decisions.
That's right. Con number 2, there is no public transportation in Waxhaw. 0.2% of residents use transit to commute. That is not a rounding error. That is effectively 0. Every commute, every school pickup, every errand is car dependent. For households coming from cities where a subway or rail option was part of the daily logistics, that adjustment is more significant than most buyers anticipate until they're living in it.
Now, con number 3, the cost of living index for Waxhaw sits at about 125, and that's 30% above the North Carolina state average and above the national average. Now, housing is the primary driver, right? So the schools, the community, the lifestyle are all priced accordingly. Buyers are expecting Waxhaw to feel like a value market relative to Fort Mill or Ballantyne. They really are going to be surprised because the gap has closed significantly as the demand has grown.
Seriously. Con number 4, the growth that made Waxhaw desirable is actively changing what Waxhaw feels like. For example, longtime residents will tell you directly it is not the quiet town it was a decade ago. New subdivisions are going up on every available parcel. Traffic that did not exist 5 years ago is now a daily reality. Some of the older downtown businesses are under direct pressure. If you are buying Waxhaw for the small town atmosphere, understand that the small town atmosphere is in competition with the growth that is making it popular. The tension is real, and it is not resolving in one direction.
Right, and let's talk about con number 5, school overcrowding. It's a real pressure point, right? The same demand that sends families to Waxhaw for schools is filling those schools past their capacity, right? Cuthbertson, Marvin Road, and Weddington are all managing significantly higher enrollment than they were built for. So the quality remains strong, the ratings remain high, but the classroom experience, you may want to investigate a little further, right, at the specific school, not just at the district level.
So is Waxhaw worth it? Here is our actual answer.
Yeah, Waxhaw is the right suburb for you, right? If public school quality is the non-negotiable in your household decision, you want a community with a genuine historic character that no developer can replicate. Your commute is hybrid, 2 to 3 days a week into Charlotte, not 5, and you are buying with a long horizon, and you understand that you are paying a premium for the market with a proven appreciation record.
Waxhaw is not the right suburb if both people in the household are commuting 5 days a week to uptown Charlotte or South End and traffic tolerance is low. You want to be in a fully built out community where the infrastructure questions are already answered, or your priority is maximizing square footage and the land for the dollar. Because at the entry level, Fort Mill in South Carolina will outperform Waxhaw on that metric consistently.
And here's the thing worth saying clearly. Waxhaw is not a compromise suburb. It is a specific suburb for a specific type of households. The families who thrive here choose it deliberately for the schools, for the downtown, for the community identity. The families who struggle here chose it because it looked good on paper. Those are two very different decisions. This video exists so that you can make the right decision the first time.
That's right.
If this is your first time here, I'm Hope.
And I'm Duane. And we're Charlotte Realtors licensed in North and South Carolina. This channel exists for one reason, to give you an honest, specific picture of every Charlotte suburb so your decision is based on facts, not making, let's say, the marketing happen.
Yeah, so if you're cross-shopping Waxhaw against Fort Mill, Ballantyne, Marvin, or anywhere else in the South Charlotte corridor, drop the comparison in the comments below right now. We read every single one and we'll give you a direct answer, not a canned response.
And if you want to see exactly what your money buys in Waxhaw right now, we just released a full home tour of a $1.2 million home. Link is in the description and it's on the end card. Go watch it.
Go watch it. Now, if you are ready to have a real conversation about which suburb actually fits both of your situations, the link is in the description. Just get a free consultation going. No pitch, just a conversation.
That's right. Till next time, stay blessed by the best.
And have an amazing day.
See ya.
Bye.